Like, this is where the AWP, well, is almost in paradise. Like, it is the long position at the beginning of the round that you can peak based off timing. There's mid timings that you can go for as well. On the CT side, you also have the car where you can try and take the fights. Like, there's so many different positions that the AWP is prominent on this map. So there's no excuses. They did get their CT side start, so at least EG are getting what they wanted. But now we go into our pistol round. In the last map, I believe that eUnited actually won themselves both pistols, so it may have skewed the scoreline a little bit. They did play very well on that T half, but the CT side was pretty slow. Well, it's going to be a long take. There is a couple of smokes. I don't know if you remember yesterday when we had that sort of weird moment from Envy where they both smoked the same spot. Hopefully that's not going to happen here from the side of eUnited. Oh, I think it did. They left a bit of a gap.
What's crazy to me is Cooper is... Oh my god, that was a little odd. It's crazy to me at this level of play that we still see so many like missed smokes and flashes. Smokes more than flashes, because you have those set spots, like when you especially have the time to set them up. Either way, we're going to see them retreat back towards long. Nice little shot from Stanislaw, who seems to carry over his success from map 1. And Cirque able to get on the board this time. 2 kills already in the first round. Not sure how Food's going to survive this one, or Cooper, as they're actually sticking the defuse, trying to pressure him. And Stanislaw gets a 3K. And Evil Geniuses will take the pistol round. And if I'm not mistaken, they didn't take either pistol round on Inferno.
No, they did manage to win the force buy in the second round, but no, they were unable to win the pistol round. So at least that's something for them. And yeah, that was a fantastic retake as well. Like, you have to bear in mind, that was a, I think, 5v5 retake when the bomb went down. They managed to, or even 5v4, because Cooper gets the kill on long. So yeah, they managed to turn that back around and put themselves in a good position. However, when we saw the good start on Vertigo from eUnited, it was off the basis of a buy like this. They have got themselves a couple of scouts, a couple of SGs, and then Freakazoid alone on the pistol. Vanity not going to be able to get that opening pick. In fact, I imagine he's going to have to give that weapon away to one of his teammates. 1 HP is all he has left, and can't really expect him to do too much with that.
Well, Marquis is the man I'm looking at over towards B, trying to look for something. In the meantime, you can see United try to set up for potentially a play towards B, as they have the smokes ready to go. Tarek going to be playing up close to this one, trying to change the location of that smoke by letting it hit his body. Marquis going to be smoked off now. It looks like United are going to be regrouping back in towards tunnel. Vanity has actually dropped the SG over to Freakazoid as you expected. But how are they going to get into the site? Cooper has the only smoke. Freak has the only flash. Another smoke was just thrown down. And also in the middle, Reezy's been able to push up Catwalk and spot out Cooper. Now he's going to clear out long. Now they know exactly where the rest of United are going to be. And I feel like this is a round that it's going to be almost impossible to win.
Yeah, they're going to need to do something very impressive. Food is hunting for Breezy and doesn't realize he's all the way at the top of mid. And now they're going to need some ludicrous entries, but this is the man you want to do it. Only one, unfortunately. The Incendiary is so well timed, and Freakazoid just has to stew while he waits. And even Ethan going to push back in. Another kill for him off the back of the SMG. He is the player within this team that I feel like he's less consistent than some of the others, like, for example, Breezy. But when he has a good game, you're done for. And he's already started off very well off the back of that SMG, making a lot of money for his squad. And now, on the opposing side, they're just going to have to maybe buy a pistol or two and save the majority of their money.
What kind of sucks for United is the fact that they gave over the SG to Ethan. And, well, speaking of the man, takes Marky's head completely off. Which I think that's the actual SG he rescued from him, too. So, oh, Freakazoid pushes straight out through middle. Does punish Cirque. And Cooper somehow gets a shot into Breezy, but it's not going to matter too much because the rest of United have fallen. They did some damage, yes. But they're still going to be down in rounds. I wonder if they're going to be able to play around Marky. I mean, he had such a phenomenal match. You heard Chet say in the interview that he is just playing off the chain. But yeah, can you set him up to do that even more on Dust2? Can you, I'm not asking you directly. It's more of like a rhetorical thing. Like, can they put him in a position to entry frag like he was before?
I think they definitely can. It's whether they want to. Like, that's a good timing. Cooper going to win the AWP battle, and Yeah, I think on this map he needs to be more prominent because, again, on the T side of Inferno, he didn't really do too much, and on the CT side, they just had a poor performance overall. But on this map, both AWPers need to be more impactful. Breezy, they're still going to retrieve that AWP, so it's not gone completely. The question is it forgotten? Not anymore. Vanity is going to be picked off. The flash comes round. Food gets one, but is traded out. Still leaves it in a 3 versus 3. They're going to take cat control. This leaves Tarek with an awful lot left to do. We saw some big clutch plays come out from him in the previous map. One of the main reasons they even survived in that previous map. And I think that's the right word to use as well. I think it was a survival effort for EG in the end. Smoke going to go over. Stan rotating in quickly. Nade does a reasonable amount of damage, and he still has support. They're peeking around the gap in the smoke, but they haven't quite been able to spot out the opponent. Marquis wins the battle in middle, and now they might want to try and change their way towards the B site. They're going to have to go on the long rotation around. They can't really risk going through middle, but Cooper's just going to try and hold it off. He wins this duel, and they're in a good position to win this round. If he gets taken down, it's far more of a problem. I think they're aware of his position. The cross is going to be made. In fact, he actually stops for a second and is almost shot through the door. The Freakazoid now manages that bomb plant, and the retake was going to be fast. Weapon not quite like Simple. Not going to be throwing it in and jumping over the top. Just patient play now from the T side, just waiting for that push to come in. Molotov goes over. Nade thrown in, but doesn't really achieve too much. It's just going to come down to raw individual aim. Tarek doesn't quite spot out the play. He misses the shot as well, and a quick trade from Cooper is enough. The eUnited get their first round on the board, but was it close?
The brothers saving the round at the end, though, getting the bomb down. Marquis, again, with the pressure from middle, he basically just clears out the entire B side to be taken because of that, because they knew Stanislaw was playing towards ramp as well. They knew Tarek had an op towards long A. The call immediately made to rotate back over. And very smart, methodical play out of the eUnited side. So finally taking their round, their first real gun round. And I'll start it off the back of Cooper getting that pick towards long with the great timing out of Vanity with the flashbang. And I feel like, you know, United, I didn't get to talk to them too much during the break, but I feel like you could just sense that, like, they felt like they could have won Inferno. They could have closed it out. You think back to the Tarek 1v3 that he pulled off on CT side, getting the defuse through after the 3 kills. They very well could have ended it in 2, and they very well could have set themselves up to, at a minimum, get themselves through to the second group stage, if not the actual finals.
Yeah, the thing is as well, though, I think something you have to consider is even if you take an opponent like EG close on a map like that, I think it's going to give you confidence. And going into a map like Dust2, likely a map they feel a little bit more comfortable on. I think it fits the style of a lot of the players they have within the team. I don't think they're going to be too worried. Like, if you've done it once, you came close the second time, well, they always say that the third time is the charm.
Actually tags Ethan really heavily through the door there. Actually gives out more damage than he takes. As we see, it's basically a force up out of Evil Geniuses. Somehow Tarek just phones away. And they've been able to set Cirque up over towards B. He's actually getting aggressive in towards tunnels, and for good reason. He takes down Marquis, the big player for United on Inferno. Might trigger a rotate back in towards A for United. But they have no one to go in towards a long position, so that kind of worries me. Flashbangs going to come through, they come running out of Catwalk and catch Stanislaw with the deagle out. And they should be able to get the sight off this.
There's not really much he can do in terms of denying the plant, and I wonder how much CT side are going to want to go for this. They've still got the AWP and a couple of rifles to take into the next round. They don't have a kit, and they don't have much utility to actually gain any real space. This is everything they've got as well. This is all their money invested in. Cooper picks off one. Some great positioning. Tarek actually manages to get past, and Cirque's going to be dinked up by the Glock. It's left all on to Breezy. 1 versus 2. Looking to make his way in. I don't even think he has the time at this point. Just has to try and run away, and I don't know if Freakazoid's going to let him. It's a bit of a shaky battle from either player, and I think Freakazoid's just going down with the ship. Breezy will survive, but it doesn't really matter in terms in terms of his team's economy because they don't actually have the money to buy up anyway.
I was really scared Vanity was going to shoot Freakazoid on sight because he was in the zone after getting the 3 kills. Yeah, the economy not going to be there now. I mean, to be fair, the rounds that they've won for United, they won the round prior with 2 players alive, the brothers. Then they won that last round with 1 player left alive. So it's not like they've been.
It was one. It was one both times.
Oh yeah, it was one. Yes, because Cooper was the only one who survived as he got the final kill. So it's not like their economy's been stabilized that much. And Evo Geniuses, even though they are currently just on the M4 at a breezy, it's not like they're going to fall too far behind. Yeah, they could potentially lose this round. Most likely will lose this round. But they're going to be able to bounce back and still have that opportunity to really demolish the economy out of United and start to build up some rounds, start to build up a streak.
Well, the boost does keep things even, at least in terms of personnel. I do think if anybody was going to flip a switch and win a round out of nothing, Breezy's the man I put my money on. At the same time, it's a pretty big ask, and by the looks of things, they're more looking to battle into middle. Unfortunately, that's not where their opponents are going. The Molotovs should give them the early warning signs, but it's whether or not anything can actually be done. A little bit by Tarek. Ooh, nice shot from Freakazoid as he spins around. That's the gun dropped. Stan has managed to retrieve a Galil, but I don't know how much he'll want to keep that into the next round.
I could sense your hatred for that weapon when you said Galil. I was like, oh, he might puke on air here. And that's why. Not getting a kill. Freakazoid already on 4 kills in this round. Again, EG, all they had was 1 M4, but still confidence. I think, as you mentioned before, pushing in EG on Inferno, they know they can get them that far. They already won map 1. They know they can do it again here in map 3. And with Freakazoid now getting confidence, I feel like he's a player that helps spread that confidence throughout his team. When he's happy, he gets his teammates happy. He already does it when they're having a tough time. And it's good signs here for United.
Yeah, I think that's for sure. I think the players that are currently on this United roster with confidence behind them are actually some pretty deadly players. And if you look at the money for EG, even off the back of a round save in the previous, it's not enough for them to get a buy. They want to make sure that they have the AWP. They want to get all the pieces. A little bit unlucky, tries to avoid a flashbang. It was a little bit late. Breezy. It's a dig, but it's just going to be the cleanup crew. Stan has managed to at least net 1, and actually Ethan's got another. We've seen rounds like this slip away before, so I'm hoping that United are going to be a bit careful here. And actually, Stan's managed to get an AWP. That's off the hands of Cooper. It's both brothers that have fallen.
They ride together and they die together, Tom.
Ethan's got another one. Even if they don't win this round, it's going to be very costly. This would have to be a miracle shot because the Deagle is definitely not the weapon to try and jump shot with. Stan coming around the back. Oh, I thought he was going to get that kill onto Markin. In fact, he just ends up handing back the AWP. So still a costly round for United, but they do manage to win it nonetheless. But now the buy comes up for the CT side.
I'm actually surprised that he doesn't just save the op in that round. They didn't have a kit. I didn't see if there was actually one on site. There potentially could have, but you have an op and you have a Deagle. Why not save the op into the next round to help stabilize the economy a little bit? Let the Deagle have a chance to potentially go in and get a kill. If anything, punishing the economy out of United was not a bad idea, but I'm not sure. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I guess because they do already have the money to buy one into the next round anyway. It could just be like confidence in their own purchase. Like it's one of those rounds as well where I think at least for a moment you think that you can win it, especially in a 2 versus 2. So you just go for it, try and do the damage, and okay, sure, saving the AWP would have been great, but it's ultimately not going to affect their buy at all in this round, unless maybe it stops them getting a double AWP. But I think they had enough money. Well,
I mean, speaking of confidence, like Ethan walking in with the Deagle and getting a couple of kills, like that's a moment he maybe thinks that they can close out the round. But now we're getting to the buy-up. Cert going to be just on the flashbang, but with the AWP. Margit already leading the charge over towards this B site. They actually have grouped up quite a few players. They're going to pick up the pace, get in extremely quickly as Margit does a lot of damage to his teammate. Takes down Ethan either way. There's still going to be a man in sight. Are they going to expect Stanislaw to be there? But it doesn't matter. Freakazoid takes the head clean off the shoulders, and Cert now looking for the cross. Smoke and flashbang comes through. Now Vanity If he just drops on CT, he can have 2 quick kills over towards the B doors. There's the first, and there's the second. And eUnited picking up the pace, and they completely demolish the buy round out of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, Marky once again, those important entry frags, and well, Freakazoid able to get the second into the site. Breezy is left on the other side of the map, just hoping to try and save his gun. This is a moment where maybe that extra save weaponry could have been an important factor, but well, that's long gone. Same angle. He seems to like hiding in this position.
Hey, it's worked before.
That is true. T-side not going to be over-facing in this scenario. I think they know that the money's not going to be great in the next round for EG anyway, and I think they're more interested in actually keeping their own economy safe. Maybe not wanting to face off against some of the pistols, because that's one of the sort of more worrying rounds we've had in a while, was off the back of the Deeks.
You know what's kind of, as I'm looking at like the map stats for these teams, I think one of the craziest things is eUnited is fighting them on, well, two of their best maps. They have 100% win rate on Dust2 out of 9 maps, 100% win rate on Inferno with 8 maps now. They always beat them on Inferno. If they do it on Dust2, they not only beat Evil Geniuses, but they beat them on maps they haven't been able to be beaten on by some of the best teams in the world, like at ESL 1 New York. And obviously that's still a long ways away. Food kind of getting caught in a rough position over towards the dumpster. Backup not to be had since the smoke's through, and the amount of flashbangs being thrown on top of this man is just ridiculous, and yet somehow Food comes out with the kill. He might have bought some time, but Breeze gonna spam through the smoke, take him down. And Vanity's trying to protect the weapon. Stanislaw now has it, and look how passive eUnited are being all around the map.
Weird. This is definitely one of those rounds that can quickly get out of control. Already now a couple of rifles in onto Stan and Breezy, and with 2 players already tagged for eUnited, this is one that they don't want to let slip away from them. That's why they gave up that fight onto long, because there was 4 players there from EG initially. Either way, just waiting now, hoping that there's a little bit more aggression. I think they know that this is just a minute investment, so the CT side are likely to try and get a little bit more aggressive. Cooper is going to spot a man into mid. It's Cirque with the scout. Cooper's got to be careful here.
No.
He's already low on HP. Both players, in fact, are currently low on HP. Tarek, I think he might be about to get caught out. Yeah, Marky waiting patiently, but Stan has dropped the bomb. More importantly, they found a kill onto Cooper as well. It needs to be the cleanup crew, but only 1 kill for Marky. Vanity now left. He's only got 20 seconds. They could just run. If they just run away here, the round is pretty much over. He has to just run and gun towards that B side. It's not going to happen. A round stolen away for EG, and that gets them right back in the running.
I feel like we've seen so many of these rounds that eUnited should have been able to close out, just slipping out of their hands. Whether it was their mistake or Evil Geniuses rising to the occasion. Again, that 1v3 that Tarek pulled off here. Getting caught out towards long with the 4-man stack and losing way too many players and taking way too much damage.
It was the guns as well. Like, they only had 1 rifle going into the start of this round on Breezy, and at that point gained a second, and I think it was Stan actually doing a fair bit of the damage. Double AWP setup now picked up. Well, there's the second. Ethan already going to be getting rid of Cooper. Freakazoid hoping for the trade, but it's not going to be happening. The double AWP already pulling up a duo of frags, and they're going to try and go back to what's been working. This cat control has been a big success from them. Now, though, they've got a challenge versus Cirque on the AWP. Still yet to see him truly explode into this server like we know he can. Did some damage in the pistol round, and even has the incendiary down here to at least call for some support. Tarek still a little bit hesitant to dedicate into this A site. Probably has a large amount of faith in this man, and for fair reason. They look to peek round, no chance of Cirque ever missing that shot. Flashbang even giving him a second chance to go for a bit of a re-peek, and spots out the head of the cross. Vanity, in the meantime, has actually managed to get 2 kills, which makes this a little bit possible. Marky tapping away as well, brings it into a 1 versus 2 with Breezy just below him. The problem is, once again, the bomb position. It's a horrible one. He spots out Breezy, but Breezy wins the battle, and it is going to be the scoreline equalized. Once again, still a little bit too close for comfort, considering how that round started off. I think that was, what, 5v2? But then comes down to just a 1v2.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part was that they didn't have any flashbangs to force Cirque out of position or force him to just kind of change up his spot. He had clean shots with no pressure, no one rushing him down, but Vanity with that double kill, it actually forced Cirque to rotate. They actually missed up their smoke in towards middle here, but it doesn't seem to matter too much, as United's going to be on the pistols. But of course, when you lose 2 players in towards middle, your utility is definitely going to be lacking, and obviously the Molotov that was thrown in bought some time to make sure to set up. United looking to potentially fall behind here yet again in this half. If Evil Geniuses take this round. What I see the struggle for United is now that EG have the double up set up for the first time in the series from last round, and Ethan's hitting shots and Cirque's starting to finally land as well, are they going to be able to stop the double up setup?
Yeah, I think that would be a problem. I think also going onto the CT side, I expect more from them on the T side. I think the calls have been pretty good, and their entry frags have been fantastic, whereas going onto the CT side, well, firstly, Marky won't have an SG, which just seems to be his gun of choice, and I don't know how much impact he's really going to be able to have. Stan, damage, they're actually doing quite a good job of overwhelming the site. Freakazoid jumps up with an AWP. Oh, I thought Vanity was going to get away with that for a second. Even still, 2 kills and a bomb plant is pretty successful in this round. Looking for the shot with the AWP. Cooper's now been handed it. He's the man you'd want to have. Spots the hand, but can't quite connect. And will be traded out by Breezy before he can do anything more. A second as well, and Food, the Glock, and 18 HP. No chance.
I think, though, that was a lot more than they could have hoped for, getting the bomb down.
Yeah, for sure.
And Freakazoid actually gave the op to his brother in the middle of the round 2. Once he picked it up, dropped it over to Cooper, who unfortunately just wasn't able to hit the timing, wasn't able to hit that first shot. And Breezy was able to flank around in towards tunnels. So EG, even though they are currently in the lead, it's not the kind of lead we were expecting. It's not looking nearly as clean as they were expecting. United are putting up a damn good fight here. But yeah, I'd agree with you. When we move over to the CT side, you would hope that United are going to have a lot more rounds in their pocket, because CT side Inferno, just to remind you, was 11-4 against them.
Yeah, they struggled. And we didn't really see too much, I think, on Vertigo either, because wasn't it a fairly dominant T-side then yet again, so. 5-6. The purchase now in for both sides. The SG's in everyone's hand, other than Cooper, of course. This map, at least, has been pretty good for Freakazoid. And again, we just see these default rounds being thrown in by eUnited, waiting and watching. But to be honest, I think EG are going to be okay with that. They still have this double orb setup available to them. If anything, maybe a faster play towards that B site might actually be what nets them around. It came close in the last, even just with pistols. Breezy should have himself a free B kill. Well, now they're just sort of leaving players to try and find picks on their own. Cooper just probing into middle, doesn't have too much support, and it seems like their T-side has stagnated a bit.
I think they've gone back to the strat they used on Vertigo of just hoping someone could get these entries. That's where they were very successful. I feel like they won out a majority of the opening duels. They have been able to sneak Freakazoid in towards CT spawn, so if they can somehow get towards B and leave him here, he can cut off a rotate. The problem is Stanislaus is still alive, and Stanislaus looking for more kills, but Vanity again takes the head clean off of him. Cooper able to respawn now into 1-on-2. He's going to have time to plant the bomb. He has a very real possibility of winning this round. Tarek on 13 HP. The Naked to come through. Tarek going to dodge away from this one. And unfortunately, Breezy again through tunnels helps secure the round, and Evil Genius is going to go up by 2.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to do too much against Breezy over the last few rounds. He has been massively successful. Bomb going down does at least allow the majority of players 4,100 over on the T side, but I guess they could go for another SG buy, or maybe just go. I'd like to see them pick up some MAC 10s or something, just try running into B. It seems like there's some vulnerabilities there.
Oh. Almost got it.
I got one.
Actually curious if they will rush in towards B. Vanity looks like he will be the one to head in that direction, but the rest of United not going to be going. Of course, your favorite weapon over on Food.
waste of money. As is food a lot of the time, with what I spend it on at least.
And even though Evil Geniuses have taken, I think it was like the last 3 rounds, they don't really have that stable economy to rebuy up the double ops too easily. So if eUnited can put some damage, they can somehow win this round. They actually could get close to tying things back up. It's just a tough ask to have. Let's see, utility. They have the smokes and flashes to actually push Cirque out of this position. Will they expect Tarek, though? Gonna be tucked away in Goose. No smokes, actually, for Cirque, but actually, they're coming in just a little bit too late. I'm not sure how this is actually gonna work out for Vanity, who did try to rush towards long with the MAC-10. Is not gonna be successful, though he does ding up Breezy. And Cirque not necessarily hitting his shots. The bomb yet again for the 3rd round straight. Gonna go down for United, but can they defend this? Didn't Tarek have a gun?
What is going on? They're just juggling weapons around.
Where's Tarek's gun, though?
It's just not what you want when it's this sort of retake, and it is going to fail miserably. Cirque is just waiting into long. At this point, it's just come down to a save. And I think this is actually where we see some of the best Counter-Strike come out from eUnited. Not when they're playing defaults, not when they're slowing down, when they go quick into a site and just trade off of each other. I think they've got that down to a fundamental T. It's just when they sort of play things slow and wait for picks. I think that's just playing into Evil Genius's hands. Because if you work individually versus this team, you'll lose.
It worked on Vertigo, but I feel like that's just an outlier because Evil Geniuses haven't practiced or played too much Vertigo. And they obviously had more preparation.
I don't know. Look at Inferno as well, though, on the T side. Most of their rounds were Marky leads the way, gets the entries, and then you had the rest of the team looking to clean up. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to hold here, you're going to hold here, and we'll just wait patiently and get picks. A lot of the time, the pick came when they were executing. Like, they were gathering up. They were playing as a unit. And, yeah, okay, sure, Vertigo, you can call it an outlier, but that was still what they were doing. Like, they were going for A executions, and they were working off the synergy they clearly have together. And I don't know. I think if you just keep giving opportunities to players like Breezy or Cirque to get in these 1v1 duels, they're going to win the round.
Speaking of Cirque, he's going to be the only one with a real weapon. The AWP, Stanislaw taking the chip through the door. And as I was saying before that last round, if eUnited can somehow steal it away, they could be looking at a 7-7 scoreline so far in the first half. Vanity, where's he getting tagged from?
Mid.
Down to 51. Ethan now down to 26 as Cooper's able to avenge a little bit of damage. And they have this full long control as well. They're able to get out, use their weapons. I am a little bit worried though for Freakazoid. If he falls, that's an SG picked up for the enemy team. And Cirque is still here. Like, the thing is, they're playing around him. So if he does somehow die, they're still going to have control of the op. Tarek might have an opportunity to pick up the kill on a Freakazoid who's expecting it. And a nice shot out of Freak does prevent Tarek from getting a weapon.
This is getting a little bit dicey. There's now 3 players dinked on the T side. Luckily, this is all an elaborate ruse, but I don't think they'll mind this too much for the CTs, because if they can just retrieve a weapon or two, it'll give them a much better buy going into the next round. Just look at Tarek. $0. That's how I feel a lot of the time looking at my bank account, but realistically, this is one of those situations where an extra weapon save could actually make a big deal. Like, he invested, obviously, just having $1,500, I think, going into this round, so it wasn't too much of a problem, and I guess they kind of hoped that Cirque would be able to save, but hey, a couple of weapons picked up wouldn't be too bad.
More importantly, keeping the op as well for Cirque. Do you think 7, potentially 8 rounds is doable for United? Obviously, they struggled on CT side very heavily on Inferno. We didn't get to see too much of on Vertigo because they already closed out the map. But do you think 7 and 8 is where they need to be to have a solid chance? Or do you think you were expecting a little bit more because of how strong Evil Geniuses can be as they swap over?
I think that it's possible, of course. I think that Dust2 CT side definitely gives opportunities to be a bit more aggressive, but I just think the EG on their T side looks so good in the previous map, and I kind of think that they're going to be able to do the same here. Hello. Auto sniper thrown in. The idea here is just to try and deny anybody making it across, but that didn't work. And unfortunately, I was going to say just a clean entry, but Marky peeks back into the Molotov and finds the kill onto Stan. That does open things up. And they've rotated a second player towards B, but this is the big play. Breezy again. He's been so problematic for this team so far. Makes his presence known with a kill onto Food, and Freakazoid looking for the trade. Does so much damage. Even has the Molotov to actually clear him out of the corner. And the smoke hasn't really done the job. 2 HP. He's still standing. Surely he's got to go down.
When Tarek pushes through the double doors, pushes through the smoke, gets the bomb down. Cirque as well waiting. Vanity drops down towards CT. Expecting some sort of protection. Evil Geniuses might have just stolen away this round, but Freakazoid's still alive, and he still has 3 players left to find. 50 seconds to go. He knew that Breezy was at the top of mid. He's been able to rotate. Tarek's going to be there, and Tarek will win out the duel and put Evil Geniuses in the lead at the end of the first half. Still very close calls for EG. A lot of those rounds could have gone a different way, but they come out the lead nonetheless, Tom.
Yeah, this is now where they get to go and set the pace. This is where I do expect them to dominate that a little bit more. It's been a decent performance from eUnited all the way through, but the 1 weak half we saw from them was the CT side of Inferno. The question is, can they show, well, that they've got a better CT side in the second half? We'll find out after the break.
Well, we're back now with the second half of map number 3 here between eUnited and Evil Geniuses. And yes, map 3. eUnited was able to take Vertigo. Evil Geniuses able to skate by on Inferno. And they do currently have the lead at the moment as they move on to the T side. This is where eUnited's going to have to step up as Evo Jesus have been so deadly in the past. 100% win rate on Dust2 with 9 maps played. Looking to make it 10 as Ethan's going to be pushing up short. Might actually catch on the CT side. And Stanislaw hits a bang over shot onto Cooper as he tries to fall down towards CT spawn, giving them the man advantage.
Freaky's quick on the flank, but maybe a little bit too quick. Food runs out of bullets before he can actually get the next kill. And now, well, this retake's looking very unlikely. Vanity spotted by Ethan as well. An easy kill for him and leaves just Marky alone. Hasn't had the same level of impact he did in the previous map. And oh, he's not going to do anything here either. Ethan with another triple. He's been solid throughout this.
It sounds like someone's being murdered for a second.
Even Michael's smiling. That means it must have been very funny.
I think the real problem for United is that no one's stinking up the room anymore. They won Vertigo when it happened. Oh, Cirque and Food actually get a trade. Scout shots in middle. Oof. And Stanislaw is going to take a shot. Food is hitting some good damage on this round, and a very big round if they can somehow take this away. If Stanislaw runs back towards A, I would imagine he's not going to. Or if Freak continues to push and sees that the bombs in T spawn, he could set himself up nicely. The thing is, you have Breezy's been able to push out towards long. I don't think anyone's actually spotted this one out. Ethan gets tagged. And this is becoming actually very doable for United, Tom.
Oh, has Freakazoid heard any of the footsteps? That's the real question. The cross is all going to be about timing. He's looking in the wrong direction and just going to be spotted out. Oh, a little bit of a dicey spray coming in, and Tarek is going to help out. He gets the kill onto Freakazoid. Now they've rotated back as already they've got themselves some positioning on that A site. If you look at the position of Breezy at the moment.
Oh my gosh.
Tag's still coming in. I think that one was through the door, so it didn't do anywhere near as much damage as you'd hope for. That one, however, not so much. And that's actually the bomb being dropped as well on the cross. They didn't have any smokes available to them. Still plenty of time, and I think it's dropped just far enough over for them to retrieve it. And now Ethan's in a position where he can just try and hold off any other rotations. It's going to be very difficult for eUnited here to hold on to this round.
No tag coming in this time. Vandy's going to try to rush down with the up. He gets the kill onto Breezy. Looks like he might just try to save the ump, considering there's a player over towards long. Tarek with the AK. They've done a lot of damage, to be fair, for United. They have been able to take out 3 kills. United's able to get the round in the end and put themselves one step closer to closing out the series. Those tags through the door, such a shame that he was able to hit, I think, 3 shots. 2 players were low at the end. They actually both tagged with the scout there.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. But this round, well, a couple of HEs and a Zeus for Marky. Yeah. Trying to be a little bit cheeky. It does annoy me a little bit that he invested into a P250 and a Zeus. Like, one or the other, man. You don't need both. Goes for the Zeus and actually does hit Ethan with it as well. 80 damage. That's got to be frustrating. Maybe sets one of his teammates up to at least try and get a kill. The problem is this B site is retake, or very hard to retake, I should say. Okay. Okay. Where did that just come from? 2 kills with the USP. Tarek gonna be like, that's enough of that. Still looking to try and fight into mid. He's got to be careful. He doesn't really need to be battling versus these USPs. We're still going to carry on anyway. That's content.
I mean, you did mention Marky setting up potentially with the Zeus for a teammate, and then immediately Ethan did fall. Yeah.
What? Why is he just hiding in the spawn? I just imagine his teammates switching to him, just going, "What? Why are you there?"
That's me in matchmaking, to be fair. It's like, I just really like my USP, guys. Just want to give them money.
So basically, you just make up an excuse.
I've become pretty good at that, yeah.
Oh,
Down in my
something in my eye this round, you know. sorry,
my hand just started to
talking
cramp.
me.
Yeah. My chair, it slid back at the wrong time, and That's why I TK'd my entire team. It happens. Evil Genius is still on the grind. Now, I want to ask you a question, Tom, and I kind of want to ask Dust at the same time. Looking at this series so far, and looking at Evil Geniuses and how they won ESL on New York, is this Evil Geniuses just not playing their standard? Or is it eUnited stepping up a little bit and actually showing that the 2 weeks of time they've had to practice has started to pay off?
I think we're definitely seeing some strong performances out from players on eUnited, but I think you still have to go ahead and say that like EG are not playing their best Counter-Strike. Like no matter what the situation, they should be like at least more comfortably dominating this match. At the same time, I think that is also something you see a lot from like top teams, is that you may not necessarily win all of these games comfortably, but as long as they get the victory, it doesn't really matter. Like, a lot of the time, if you go 3 months' time, you're not going to be sat there going, do you remember that time that United almost beat EG? Like, you never do. You just know, okay, they got through, they got to the playoffs. That's the important thing for them. So, sure, this match has been a bumpy ride, but if they take it over the line, doesn't matter.
I mean, look at Astralis, right? They lose in the group stage, and then when it comes to playoffs,
Exactly.
They don't really lose that often. Freakazoid, though, he's in the prime position, actually flanking towards middle. If he wants the 3 players to be back towards the top of mid, he gets the early man advantage. Double up setup coming in with Vandy and Cooper's able to give him the 1-up yet again, and he connects another shot on a Stanislaw. Yes, he does go down, but the damage has been done, and United have a 2-man lead in round 19.
Even still, there's a possibility for Cirque, if he did push further forward, to get himself a free AW. Well, I say free. It's got the blood of his 2 teammates on it, but other than that, completely free. That's the way he's got to look at it, at least.
I mean, if anything, he also gets blood for free. Like,
okay, Jason, I'm going to move away from that morbid sentence and go into the fact that Ethan's currently pushing into the A site. He's got to watch out for the cross. Food watching it. Only with an M4, this utility going to be expended, and I don't know if he'd expect Freakazoid to be in Goose. The problem is this is all just a bit of an elaborate ruse, and Cirque's going to be able to pounce on his teammate. Now he'll spot out Freakazoid, who has to get aggressive, but he does it successfully. That was important timing. Eva gets the timing onto Cirque again, doesn't get the kill, but it doesn't matter. The round is won, an 8th on the board for eUnited, and now they're only 3 behind. He might be the greatest motivational speaker of our generation.
okay, calm down, Tom.
I don't know. I feel like I could do anything with Freakazoid backing me up.
You could probably lift anything. Can you just lift this car for me, Freak? Thanks, man. Well, let's see now. Round 20. Double up setup maintained for United. Cirque with his own. He's looking for a shot, but he's going to be... Oh, my God. That hurts. That hurts to watch.
And that's the face he pulled as well.
I kind of wish, actually, with how great some of these pictures are we do have, that like when you died, it's a full screen picture on your screen that stays up to the next round of the face of the person who killed you.
I felt like that would be too mean. And I'd just be tempted to draw a little mustache in the center of my screen.
Then you have to play with a mustache drawn.
Mustache crosshair. It hasn't been done before.
Like
it might work.
Bennett is not going to like this, though, as the push comes through, as he's completely blinded up. Freakazoid now has to defend against quite a few players pushing onto him. And, oh my God, Stanislaw. Well, that's going to pretty much do the round. United maybe can save the M4 for food. But I feel like he's going to become lunch meat here for Cirque, who gets a triple. Okay, Sam, if you're still in the city, can you come down and we can have a contest between you, Stanislaw, and Tarek of who has the longest woo?
He needs to teach them how to do it. Like that, there was like, I don't know,
some voice
like a bit of
there?
a vibrato in the back of his voice.
Maybe we should get like a talent woo to see who has the best one.
I feel
Maybe
like
you guys can rank it.
No, it would definitely be Stunner. 100%.
No, I think Dust. I'm giving it to Dust.
I think he'd finish last, even behind me. But
I didn't say.
Here we go. Just some pistols. eUnited hoping to steal something away. I love the patience of Breezy, just waiting for him to fall within his crosshair. Freakazoid being spotted out as well, and they're trying to push in, but Sir is just having a field day, finally going to get put down, and I think Food's just waiting for him to run out of bullets, unfortunately. Has just enough to close him out. 13 and 8. A strong lead now on the T side, and while we're waiting to see if there is going to be that break back, it seemed like it was just a singular round off some heroic plays that actually got them back onto the board. And this is kind of what I was worried about. Like, I just think that the T sides from eUnited have been very good. I've been impressed, but CT side yet to really see too much.
It did take him some time, at least on the T side of Inferno, to start to claw away some rounds. But again, thinking of their CT side, it was not pretty whatsoever, only taking 4 rounds. Cirque seems to have some confidence finally, after having a very rough series, and Breezy, if he can just peek out like that and take down Food, gives him a massive man advantage. They might need to get to 14 in Freakazoid. There you go.
Yeah, helped out by Breezy, actually killing Food through his teammate. Long control looks to be where the battle will commence as Cooper just flashes himself forward to gain a bit of space. We'll back onto the site, and with Cirque already dead, it's Tarek to take up the mantle of the AWP. The one thing EG has done is build up a decent amount of economy. So even if things do go wrong in this round, which, to be honest, I'm not even sure they will, but if they do, they'll still have the cash, and the run boost is going to give him the control. You can see flashbang out from Cooper, but it's not really worth facing this angle. Nice shot from Vanity, though. That one clearly was. 35 seconds left on the clock, and it's going to be back to long by the looks of things. This is going to be quite a difficult take. They do have the smokes available to at least get onto the cross. I'm interested by... was that? Yeah, it is. It's going to be the smoke lined up, and, well, Cooper, he just hits it before it blooms. Problematic. Doesn't connect the second one, though, which is a problem, as now they're going to be able to cross onto the site. Bomb is going to be planted by Stan. Not much they can do about that, and with Ethan getting another pick, make things difficult. He even finds one more. Vanity falls, and it's left all onto Freakazoid to try and save them in a round they were winning, if anything. Stan on the site, and he tries to bait them out. He goes for the fake drop. Uses the sound cue to try and get that little bit closer. It hasn't worked. I think Stan just spotted the pixel, and now they can look to peek it together. Ethan, so good in this round, so good in this map. 21 kills, 4 in that round. I think they're starting to have a bit of fun.
I wonder if this is just more of like a slow start for them in the tournament. Obviously, we talked to Chet about, you know, DreamHack Malmo. They weren't too happy with that one. They took the time just to practice and revamp their playbook. Maybe this is them just kind of put it into execution. Obviously going to find out as they have another match come up tomorrow. United, I mean, the pistols they have. He's doing some damage to Breezy as he's trying to go for the peak, but I wonder what they can revamp coming into tomorrow with their CT sides. Because I'd agree with you, they are struggling when it comes to the team play. NEG, even though they have a big lead, big economy, taking their time, trying to get United to get aggressive for some information. And it actually might come in towards short. You can see 3 players lined up for it. NEG gonna have 3, technically 4 in the vicinity. Cooper, if he can push out at the right time, but the problem is he has to deal with Cirque on the top of mid. The flashbang comes through, he pushes out, and they actually might be able to take this one. 2 kills, now the third comes through. Cirque's still alive, and Cirque is still fighting! Ooh. A second shot onto Food. Rescues the bomb, now the A site's wide open.
Yeah, Marky's managed to retrieve himself a rifle, but he's going to be a little bit far behind. Smoke is dropped down to try and stop any presence coming from CT. It's actually a long rotation, and Vanity's retrieved another rifle, so this is looking like still a plausible situation. The problem is, it seems like Cirque has stepped up, the peak coming in, or it doesn't quite go far enough. Vanity just being patient, but he peeks around the angle and manages to get the kill. It's now left all onto Cirque. He needs to double his money to win this round, or at least burn down the clock, but they're coming in thick and fast onto his location. He'll hear the footsteps and can't hit the shot. eUnited with a truly massive round coming from very, very little. And they are going to have that defusal in the end.
Oh, they keep themselves alive. Vanity with that shot, I think, just saves them the round. I did love that mid-play push, so the flashbang was perfect, but Cirque, sometimes you can't account for shots like that landing. And look at this. No scope, no scope. Well, you talked about him, and look at him, 18 kills. He's been relatively quiet over the series, but he's starting to come to life here. And they go back to the drawing board. Weapons bought back up. No real money to spend to the next round, so if United can take this, they might be able to get to 11. A lot of early utility out of United to prevent any sort of long take off the back, or off the beginning, sorry, of the round. eUnited still get out nonetheless. There's a gap in the smoke. And he gets dropped by Marky. Problem is, the push is coming towards B. Food just gets caught with the smoke out, and he gets completely wrecked by Breezy.
Cooper, this is not the play that you can expect to win, just hoping somebody giving them some space. Actually does manage to peek in and find Breezy. It's one of the trifecta of players who's been performing very well in this match. Even still, there's 2 more heads to cut off at a minimum, and even then, I don't think Tarek and Stan have been underperforming particularly. This position is going to be difficult to clear for Freakazoid. The timing, though, works perfectly in his favor. That might just be the defining kill as they look to get back into this site. It's actually going to be the rotation round. They're all going to come through together, but they line up. Cirque and Tarek and Cirque once more as they find themselves that 15th round. And, well, it seems like there's nothing that they can do. It's almost like, I feel like it's like the 3 horsemen of the apocalypse. Like, you've got Cirque going off, you've got Breezy playing well, and then Ethan chiming in again. It's just unbeatable.
Well, they're proving that. On to match point, 15-9. And what can United possibly do? They have the dub up set up, if anything, for Cooper and Vanity. Well, there goes one of them. Cirque again, coming alive. 21 kills. That's the face after that kill, I think. And United, they've come close, but they had a very real possibility on Inferno to take it just 2-0. But moving on to Dust2, their hopes might be slipping away. Ethan, I think he spotted out the first player. That was going to be Vanity with the op. Just trying to back off, and Marky trying to push. They need him to step up. He's been able to hit so many great shots on the T side, but not going to be his day here. And EG are just 3 kills away.
Yeah, 3 kills away from what pretty much everyone will have expected. Even still, the road has been very different to the end location. They've definitely taken the scenic route. I think that's the best way to put it. Freakazoid. They're still going to be able to hit 1. The double AWP setup remaining. Trying to channel his brother's AWPing skill, and well, gonna have to jump down here. Second smoke thrown out, but again, it lands in the same place. There seems to be a common theme. Unfortunately, he won't hit the shot, and as he recoils, he's got to try and do something else. It's Vanity falling, and Cirque closes out the match. It was a long road back to finally get to this point, but eventually Evil Geniuses did what we expected of them.
Yeah, not clean until we got to Dust2, but now they move through into the group with a 1-0 start. United, though, I'm pleasantly surprised to see them. Yeah. Vertigo was a very solid pick for them, going 16-6. Inferno, they looked good as well. Marky in particular just opened things up time and time again on that T side. But I think they've been able to learn there's little things they need to work on before tomorrow to fix on their CT side. And at the same rate, they've also kind of given up the information that, hey, Vertigo is a map that they very well can play, which their future opponents might look into to potentially avoid.
Well, I think the interesting thing as well, if you're the other 2 teams in this group, I think you go, EG might be out of our reach. We should fairly easily beat eUnited, and then we've got our matchup to decide the group. But I think that both Daps and Blame F have probably just gone and started looking up the stats of eUnited and maybe going through a few VODs, just going, okay, I don't think we can underestimate these guys anymore. And yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. This is definitely going to be that sort of group of death, the one where we don't know who will come out on top until the very end. And even though this is a loss, I think this is still a statement for eUnited that, yeah, you can't just count us out. This is a tournament that we've come to play.